Yesterday's primaries to replace the disgraced Trent Franks are over, and now Republican Debbie Lesko and Democrat Hiral Tipirneni are in full campaign mode for April's general election for the congressional seat. Tipirneni says she can win, although the seat's been held by Republicans for decades.
There hasn't been a strong Democratic candidate in this district running specifically for this seat in quite a while. So we don't really know how well a strong Democratic contender can do.
She says people are fed up with partisan politics and they want a good problem solver in Congress. It's a day off for Flagstaff public school students, but a day on for their parents, as Karen Eberhard with the Unified School District says they're enjoying a snow day, but they should enjoy it while it lasts.
According to the weather reports, we should be done with the snow and we should have everything cleaned up and ready for tomorrow.
Eberhard says that the district has called several late starts so far this year, but it's the first full snow day for students. I'm John Gilliland, and this is Arizona News.
It's time for your 1100 KFNX Traffic Report, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. In Phoenix, we have stop-and-go traffic at the Loop 202 westbound between 40th Street and State Route 51. An accident at 19th Ave south of the I-17. And in Glendale, be on the lookout for a collision at 67th Ave at West Union Hills Drive. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center, as we head into the evening under clear skies, our low tonight 41. Thursday sunny, high near 70. Thursday night will be clear, overnight low 45. Friday and Saturday will be sunny, Friday's high 73, Saturday 72. I'm Scott Allen Fortney from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently in downtown Phoenix, it's 57 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
You're in the front yard, shovel in hand, about to dig, when a thought crosses your mind.
Was I supposed to call 811 before I start digging? Nah, that's just for excavator dudes.
No, dude, it's for homeowners too. Before starting any digging project, call 811 2 working days in advance to get all underground lines marked for free, because natural gas lines and other utilities can be buried anywhere.
Got it. Thanks, deep voice narrator.
You're welcome, dude. Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Esther, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782 on insurance.
Liberty did what?
I know. It's a lot of money, right?
What'd you say?
Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Visit us online to get a quote.
What?
I said, visit us online to get a quote, and you can save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Are you still talking?
Live from the Midtown studios of KFNX, it's time for the Wellness Roundtable radio show, sponsored by Atrix.com. Now, here's your hosts, Dr. Spear and Dr. White.
Hello, welcome to the Wellness Roundtable radio show. I'm your host, David Spear, along with my co-host, Scott Weiss. Hey, Scott.
What's going on today, Dave? You doing all right over there in
Everything
Arizona?
Is good, and I have to tell you, it's 60 degrees here. So I don't know what is going on, but we've gotten through a cold spell in the last few days.
Well, it's good for you guys out there, I'll tell you, because it happened to have been a pretty nice and beautiful day here. When the sun's shining, we're okay here in New York. So temperature was, maybe, we'd say in like the early 50s, so we weren't too far from you.
Okay, all right, not bad. I mean, it's been kind of raining the last couple of days, but not anything to complain about. So I wanted to say hello to everybody on Facebook Live who's watching us, who's tuning in. And today we have a really interesting program, Scott. We're going to talk a little bit about chronic pain, and this is it's kind of a little kind of on the other side of the spectrum as to what we talked about last week, which was youth fitness, right? So we have a very interesting guest today that we're going to introduce in a moment, and I think this is something that a lot of people have sort of on the forefront of their minds. Either they're suffering from chronic pain, they know someone suffering from chronic pain, or with the opioid epidemic and what's going on in this country, it's really been not only been in the news, but it's become an epidemic, and it's become something that we need to learn how to cope with and really how to deal with it, how to heal from it.
I agree, Dave. I wanted to get Evelyn on the show for a while now, actually, since the day I met her, knowing it would be, a great opportunity to share some of the knowledge and the people she works with. And kind of, I'd have to say she's on the cutting edge of chronic pain and how to deal with that from many different standpoints. So I'm excited about today's show.
That's great. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest, Evelyn Hecht. She's a physical therapist and certified athletic trainer in New York City. And she's the owner of EMH Physical Therapy, specializes in pelvic floor, spine, and chronic pain of all types. And she designed the first pelvic health courses for New York University and Stony Brook University in their Department of Physical Therapy. And she's taught at both universities for 7 years, and she is an NYU master clinician. Interestingly enough, and reading this, I thought this was really quite interesting. In 2014, she developed an app with a patient of hers called Pelvic Track. It's currently free on iTunes, and it helps people with pelvic pain, and it helps them learn what they can do to heal. Maybe there's some exercises related to it on the app, and we'll talk to her about that. And then very recently in January, she launched her ebook called Relieve Solutions for Chronic Pain, which teaches anyone suffering from chronic pain the exciting, empowering new pain science, plus learning evidence-based self-help techniques in a daily program to heal pain. So
it's so important.
Yeah, she's also currently collecting data in a research study with Queen's University in Canada, studying the effectiveness of the Relieve program for women in chronic pain. So welcome to the show, Evelyn.
Oh, my gosh, I'm so excited to be talking to you both, Scott and David. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I mean,
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, this is a topic that we really need to hit hard, and I think, a lot of people are probably very interested in what you have to say, and as Scott said, you're doing some cutting-edge work, so it would be really interesting to hear how the science of chronic pain has changed over the last few decades. So I guess my first question is, how you're a physical therapist and a certified athletic trainer, and how do you sort of, when you started in chronic pain, it was, about 20 years ago or so? A couple of decades ago? So okay. So how do you break into that, and then kind of how do you evolve as as the time goes on?
Well, I started working, started being very interested in the field of pelvic pain. When I was a young therapist, I worked in a pretty big international orthopedic hospital. So we had a lot of people traveling from around the world, kings from Saudi Arabia, president of Iran. And I had traveled extensively as a child and spoke some languages. And so I was known as the international physical therapist. So I get all these dignitaries. European as well. And European people versus Americans, they're very upfront about pelvic, or they were at least with me, very upfront about issues about the pelvic floor. And I would get questions, Evelyn, do you know anything about, I'm having relations with my husband, I'm having pain in my private area, do you know anything about this? Another person would say, I've been going to the bathroom too many times a day. I'm having constant urgency and frequency going to the bathroom. I'm pain with this. Do you know anything about that? And at that early phases, 25 or so years ago, the field of pelvic physical therapy was not existent. And I asked some of my friends and colleagues about, did they know anything about this area? And they all looked at me and they said, we never get any of these questions. So I knew, and so I knew I was being given a gift to seek out and learn and see if I can help. So I got into the world of pain really through the pelvis. And from there have been on an amazing journey.
I find that so interesting, everyone, how the Europeans are far more easier to talk to and upfront about things like that than us here in America, where it's kind of hey, let's keep that kind of quiet over here. I'd rather not not anyone know. It's just it's a big difference in culture.
Yeah. It's a big difference in culture, and we suffered, the patients that I would see, young men and women, they would be suffering for years, being so embarrassed, never getting questions by their medical doctors, because the medical doctors in America probably also were embarrassed. So it just was an unspoken questions about sexual health and voiding health, and too many people were suffering. So and that's why I got into it as well.
So Evelyn, do you still see that? I mean, even though we're now less guarded about sexual health and there's a lot of information out there, are there still people suffering from pelvic floor pain who, you just wouldn't know, and they don't say anything about it?
Not in my practice. Those are questions we ask every single day.
Okay.
But yes, there are still, it's growing. I'm so excited. This is why I got into teaching it at the hospitals, at the DPT departments, the doctor physical therapy curriculum, is I wanted more of my colleagues to know that this is an area that they can comfortably ask questions about, and they can address and treat and heal. And it's been a burgeoning field within the medical field. Doctors are now opening up practices at offering women's health and men's health. So it's been less and less of a problem, but it certainly still is. There's a reticence. There's a nervousness about these questions, but it's continuing to open, and I'm thrilled about that.
Interesting. And Scott, and you could probably speak to this too. When we think about chronic pain, I don't think about pelvic floor pain. I think about low back pain. I think about muscular pain. I think about, previous injuries. What is the prevalence of pelvic floor pain as it relates to the entire bucket, let's say, of chronic pain?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure everyone could answer that specifically and give you percentages, but I think that, it's like a finger on a hand. Chronic pain is so vast.
Right.
It affects so many people in so many different ways, whether it's, a complex regional pain syndrome where that's something like a neurological problem that people have on certain peripheral areas or like distal areas of their body.
Right.
To to major pain that they've had for greater than 3 months, so to say.
Right.
And it makes like inroads into their brain, and unfortunately causes another finger on the hand. So
to be affected. So what we're going to do, we're actually coming, believe it or not, to the end of the first segment. We're going to talk about the new science of pain and how this has evolved over the course of, your experience in treating chronic pain. And also we're going to talk about a new buzzword in chronic pain called biopsychosocial, the biopsychosocial approach. So stay with us. We're with our guest, Evelyn Hecht, and we're talking about chronic pain. We'll be right back.
Do you suffer from foot pain? Let Atrex help alleviate some of that pain with a pair of Atrex orthotics. Millions of pairs have been sold to those in need of fast relief from foot pain. Atrex offers a wide selection of orthotics designed for each arch type and footwear style. Visit Atrex.com. That's AETREX.com. And get your pair today. Again, that's AETREX.com.
Don't we all have questions about our health, fitness, or even injuries? Now there's a place to go, and it's online at wellnessroundtable.com. Wellnessroundtable.com is an online interactive video platform that allows the best experts in the world to share their knowledge with you. Through creating a roundtable or attending a lecture, you are bound to realize the value of having evidence-based information live and in the comfort of your own home. Check them out at wellnessroundtable.com and get some real answers. Use the promo code 1100 to get a 20% discount.
Hi, I'm Steve Ontiveros, 11-year Major League veteran and American League All-Star. After pitching in the majors, I could always spot a pro, and Document Solutions of the Valley is a true pro in the copier industry. Minutes after walking through my front door, they had diagnosed my problem and provided me with a cost-effective solution when other copier companies couldn't. After my experience with Document Solutions, they made my All-Star team. So if you're in the market for a copier, call my friend and fellow All-Star Greg Haas at Document Solutions at 623-252-8282 or log on to documentsolutionsofthevalley.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Huzzah! Weekends now to April 1st.
You love the Renaissance Festival!
Great shopping! A giant crafts market! New shows featuring sea fairies, mermaids, and merry merriment, non-stop feasting, and more. The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through April 1st. Discount tickets available at Fry's and Fry's Marketplace or rimfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Fry's, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
St. Joseph the Worker is proud to present Hike for the Homeless, March 3rd at 8:30 a.m. at McDowell Mountain Regional Park in Fountain Hills and Thunderbird Conservation Park in Glendale. Every year, thousands of individuals face homelessness and poverty in Maricopa County alone. Hike for the Homeless is a great opportunity to come together with friends, colleagues, and loved ones and hike in support of St. Joseph the Worker and those in need. To register or donate, visit hikeforthehomeless.org, or for more information, please call 602-223-3467. Your support changes lives.
Atrix is one of the fastest growing companies in the footwear industry and is widely recognized as a global leader in comfort and wellness footwear products. The Atrix mission is to create the healthiest shoe on the market today. With fashion, function, and quality at the forefront, Atrix designs and manufactures most types of footwear for both men and women. All styles are crafted with care to meet the highest standards in design, incorporate cutting-edge technologies, and offer unmatched customization and adjustability. To learn how Atrix can help you with your feet, go to AETREX.com. That's Atrix.com.
We're back at the Wellness Roundtable radio show. We're speaking with chronic pain specialist Evelyn Hecht. And I just want to let our listeners know that if you want to call in, give us a call at 602-277-5369 or toll free at 1-866-536-1100. And to get Evelyn's book, please go to emhphysicaltherapy.com and look for her ebook, Relieve Chronic Pain. So we're talking chronic pain, and I wanted to kind of touch on the science and the data. 20 years ago when you started, was there any science?
Yeah, well, the science used to be, the old-fashioned science was that pain basically was coming directly. You had pain receptors and pain right from your tissues, your muscles, your skin, and that information went right to one part of the brain, which registered it as pain and then responded to it. The new pain science, which is all really only 10 years young, has really found this to be the incorrect. But what it's telling us is that we don't have pain senses on our skin or on our muscles. In fact, people that have been bitten by sharks do not report pain as a first sensation. They actually report more of a tugging or pulling sensation. Mm-hmm. A basketball player who recently came down from a jump shot, his tibia, his lower leg bone, actually fractured and went right through his skin. He didn't feel that. It sounds disgusting. He didn't feel that. Mm-hmm. He just felt like a jolting sensation. Mm-hmm. No pain. So basically what the new pain science says is this. The brain picks up information by receptors about there's a danger, whether it be a burn or a tearing or a chemical injury that comes into the body and lets the brain know there's something has happened. This is a little danger sensor. And the brain then interprets it. Is this something that's happened before? Is she or he in a dangerous place that I have to make sure I protect her by sending pain signals, or do I need to protect her by sending pain relieving signals so she can get to a safe place? For example, if a woman is running across the street, trips and falls in a New York City pothole, mm-hmm. she has to cross the rest of the street. She's broken an ankle in that pothole. The brain says, oh no, there is more of a danger for her to be staying in the middle of the street while the lights are changing.
I see.
We got to get her across.
Mm-hmm.
So the brain sends pain relieving signals to the body so she runs across the street. As soon as she's in a safe place, then the brain says, you know what? We've got to now send pain to her so she can further protect her body and get off that ankle. So the brain is the one that is sending pain to the body as a form of protection.
Right, and in reading your ebook, also that immune response is another way for the brain to protect and also make you self-aware of what is actually happening, right? So swelling.
Right.
And that immune response is extremely important. Let me ask you this: if and you may not be able to answer this, maybe kind of something from firsthand experience, but if you really hurt yourself, what if you look at the injury? Are you then more likely to become self-aware quicker than if you didn't? So if let's say
you could go into shock. Yeah,
let's say if you hurt
yourself,
yeah. So if you hurt yourself and you're blindfolded, for instance, so you don't see it, you can't see the injury. can't see the blood, you can't see any of the sort of that, the trauma.
Right.
Does it change the way you respond?
If you look at it?
Yeah.
Such a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, yes. Well, again, people that have been injured, I know surfers, so they get injured, unfortunately, sometimes by fish and being bitten.
Sure.
So, they're looking at it will then make them even more aware that there is danger. But are they in the middle of the water and they have to swim, get themselves onto the beach first? The brain says, no, you got to get to the beach first. I'm not going to let you go into shock and faint now in the water. So that's what it does. It will take the path of the most protective measure it can take. And so this is great for the acute pain. People that have had injuries. This is all good stuff. We love it.
Yeah. That's almost like soldiers that have like the battlefield condition where they gotta get somewhere right away. And that's what they do. No matter, what's going on, they'll keep on walking with amputations just to get to where they need to go.
Right.
Exactly. So what becomes a problem is when pain is not serving a protective way. So somebody has pain in the leg for 15 years, pain in the back for like 10 years. The tissue's healed. 3 months, most tissue, nerves, bones, muscles have healed in 3 months typically. Why does somebody have continued back pain for 10 years?
Right.
This is where the chronicity, where our brain has become like a helicopter parent, hovering, overprotective. Any little thing that causes danger, a danger sensor, a fight with a husband, a bad TV show,
a bad day,
things like that.
Sure.
A bad day.
Sure.
Can trigger pain.
So any negative association can really trigger it. And is this, would this be what you call the biopsychosocial approach? In other words, so it's sort of like there's a mental component to this,
yes.
to chronic pain? Okay. And then how does that inform how you treat patients?
So instead of just looking at the tissue, oh, this is your back, oh, you've had MRIs and x-rays, you move this way, your muscles feel this way, we ask them, tell me what you do during your day. What is stressful for you? When are you feeling happy and safe? What are you saying to yourself all day long about your spine? It'll never get better. I have 5 corroded discs in my back. You say that, your brain says, "Oh, he's in danger. I've got to send more pain because he has 5 corroded discs in his back."
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that you say? What is it that you're
your internal
doing?
dialogue, basically.
Right.
Yes. And that can, so we ask questions. What's your social life like? What gives you joy? What are the 5 or 6 things that we can have you do during the day that gives you a sense of safety and getting yourself out of danger and makes you feel safe, supported, and good, and positive.
So let's say taking the objective data out of the equation, subjectively, are you noticing that, and again, you've been in the field for a long time, do you notice that patients who kind of do these kind of self-affirmations and, they're really positive and they change their outlook on life and they sort of maybe even change like a job or an occupation that they were miserable in and now they're really happy, does that change their pain?
100%.
Unbelievable.
So, this is why I think the world of chronic pain is moving in this biopsychosocial factor.
Okay.
Not saying all tissue, we should never look at a tissue again. We need to. But what we found in pain is that when a person in the brain, what's really opened up the world of pain is our brain MRIs.
Okay.
So what we found with people in chronic pain, a couple of things happen. The first thing is that the front part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex, which is the area that we can make executive decisions. We're logical, sort of oversees the rest of our brain and body. That area atrophies. It gets smaller. The cells get smaller. So the ability for your brain to make decisions that are rational and healthy become less and less able to. And then what happens is that the midbrain, which is where our fear-based are be safe or you're in danger or you have to be safe, that takes over, which is high alarm like system.
Sure.
Always on, always too sensitive, and always on the go.
Right.
That takes over.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's the flight or fight. That's the
And it's like
kind of
hypersensitivity.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost, it becomes a hypersensitivity.
Yeah. And then I saw in your ebook also you mentioned the amygdala, which is really responsible for emotion. So the more emotional you get, you even mentioned like if you get into a fight, right, it could kind of bring back that feeling of pain. It's so
I have a question for you, Evelyn. You know, some people ask me specifically, you know, I have a minor injury. Hey, I did something small. How do I prevent it from becoming a chronic injury? Is there anything I can do? And of course, you know, I say obviously positive mindset, all of that. But some people say, is there anything nutrition-wise I could do? You know, what specifically mindset? How do I prevent some minor acute injury turning into a chronic major injury, so to say?
One thing, before you answer, Evelyn, we're finishing up our second segment, so I want you to, you know, really give a great response, and I didn't want to interrupt you. Can we get back to that question when we come back in our third segment?
Absolutely.
So great. So we're speaking with Evelyn Hecht, a chronic pain specialist from New York City, who's enlightening us on chronic pain and how it's also, how it's so much related to what we think about and how we view ourselves, and our outlook on life. If you want to get her ebook, please go to emhphysicaltherapy.com. You can shop for the ebook there, and she's offering a 30% discount for the month. This is the Wellness Roundtable Radio Show, and we'll be right back.
Fair and balanced. Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Arizona's only independent voice. Independent Talk 1100 KFNX.
President Trump is losing one of his most trusted aides, but says he's sure they'll work together again. White House Communications Director Hope Hicks says she will resign soon, something that's reportedly been in the works for weeks. The president says he wants to flip the script when it comes to declaring someone unfit to own a gun. He cites the suspect in the Parkland, Florida shootings and all the time it would have taken to take away his guns.
To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second.
The president hosted several lawmakers at the White House to talk about a gun bill. Nervous times for many of the students at Stoneman Douglas High in Parkland on their first day back after the shootings 2 weeks ago that left 17 dead. But the superintendent says 95% of students came back. A new coalition of business and travel organizations aims to reverse the decline in foreign tourists visiting the U.S. Among its proposals, adding countries to the visa waiver program. I'm Richard Johnson.
It's time for your 1100 KFNX traffic report, brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. In Tempe, be on the lookout for an accident at the Loop 101 northbound at US 60. In Phoenix, be on the lookout for a collision at 19th Ave south of the I-17, as well as 75th Ave south of Thomas Road. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center, as we head into the evening under clear skies, our low tonight 41. Thursday sunny, high near 70. Thursday night will be clear, overnight low 45. Friday and Saturday will be sunny, Friday's high 73, Saturday 72. I'm Scott Allen Fortney from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 60 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Veterans face treacherous situations filled with peril while serving our country. Many veterans come home physically injured, suffering with PTSD, have traumatic brain injuries or other ailments. Treatment is available, but we need your help. Help Heal Veterans, with the support of generous citizens like you, improves veterans' lives on a daily basis across the United States. For over 45 years, Help Heal Veterans has provided over 30 million therapeutic art kits and craft projects to these critically injured veterans, at no charge to them. Doctors, therapists, and brain injury experts recommend this type of therapy. Since the beginning of World War I, over 100 years ago, art and craft therapy has proven to improve gross motor skills, improve memory, and lessen anger issues in healing veterans. To volunteer or learn more, visit healvets.org. Help a veteran. Visit healvets.org.
We are all aware the digital age has swiftly come upon us, and staying on top of our health has become more mainstream than ever before. But what if there was a way to combine the two? Finally, we can. WellnessRoundtable.com is an online video healthcare site that allows consumers the opportunity to speak to the health experts they want to and on their own time. Simply pick an expert, pick a time, and book the roundtable. It's as easy as that. Visit Wellness Roundtable at wellnessroundtable.com. Again, that's wellnessroundtable.com.
Don't sacrifice comfort for style, especially when it comes to your feet. Try on a pair of Atrex shoes today. Atrex shoes feature built-in orthotic support that can help with balance, alignment, and injury prevention. Plus, ultra-soft memory foam cushioning to keep you feeling great on your feet all day long. Visit Atrex.com, AETREX.com, and check out the selection of stylish boots, shoes, and sandals today.
Welcome back to the Wellness Roundtable Radio Show. If you're listening, please give us a call at 602-277-5369 or toll free at 1-866-536-1100. Before we start, I just wanted to give a shout out to my daughter who is turning 15 today. Happy birthday, Ellie. I hope you're listening.
All right, Ellie.
And I will probably be suffering from some chronic pain in about 6 months when she starts to drive. So we're talking chronic pain with Evelyn Hecht, who is a chronic pain specialist in New York City. And Scott, you had a great question, which is there anything we can do to sort of prevent from getting to the point of chronic pain?
Correct.
And so, Evelyn, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's the best question ever. The first thing to do, if a person is nervous about how does pain work, and is it like it's going to be a stealthy ghost in the night that's going to attack me and all of a sudden I'll wake up with chronic pain, I would suggest to read and learn about what pain is, a new pain science, which is so cool. There are lots of YouTube videos from a very great researcher named Lorimer Mosley. He gives a lot of wonderful insights about what pain is and why it turns from acute to chronic and how we can prevent it. There's also a free website called retrainpain.org that also teaches people about pain. You know, pain is really a good thing. And I think we forget how wonderful pain is. You know, people who do not have pain ability to feel pain, they don't live long. They hurt themselves without realizing it. They develop dysfunctions without realizing it, and they die young. So embrace the pain because it's giving us a protection information. So getting past the acute and the healing process, learn about it. The second thing I would say would be exercise. When you continue to exercise, you're developing new neurons in your brains called neurogenesis, birth of baby neurons that occur within the hippocampus, which is part of our learning and memory. Strengthening and building those neurons in our brain allows for healthy brain patterns. It allows the prefrontal cortex to keep strong and functioning and override any fear-based. Also, yes, nutrition. I mean, if you're going to dine on Twinkies and Cheetos, your ability to, right?
Yeah,
right.
That'll affect you overall.
Ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
never
all
a
these
walnut
things,
ever, you know?
Never a walnut.
Yeah, well, walnuts are supposedly, you know, like very important for brain function, you know?
For sure. For sure.
And so what's great is that you can control you have the healing abilities and you can control the quality of life you have. There's no question. Having fear take over you and not sure if it's pain is going to come up at you is something you have control over. You do not need to go there.
Okay. So,
yeah, fear is your friend.
Yeah, so I have a question, and this is, you know, as you're talking a lot of questions are sort of percolating in my head. But one in particular is, look, you know, we're dealing with a major opioid epidemic. And most likely, you know, it stems from the fact that many doctors are just throwing medication at pain. So now we're coming up with a new idea, new science, this biopsychosocial approach. How is this, number one, my first question is, how is this received by the medical community, number one? And number two, what are the ways to penetrate the medical community to make them see that this is actually what's going on? Because if it's not, in a way, if you can't see it, if you can't touch it, then it's not happening, right? So, oh, my back hurts, I touch it, it hurts, okay, here's a pill and take it. Instead of, and I don't mean for this to sound hokey at all, but instead of kind of thinking about,
in God
you know,
we trust, all must have data. All else must have data.
Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. Like, in other words, right, if I feel good and I feel good about myself and I'm doing all these self-affirmations and I'm exercising, it just goes away. So I just want to know, number one, how does the medical community receive it? And how do you penetrate the medical community to make them see that this is the new science?
Well, you hit my obsession on the head. This is my mission in my life, is to promote this science and to bring this information to the general public. The neuroscience world, research on brain, has really opened up the data mine for people to believe, oh, look, your prefrontal cortex is atrophying. Oh, look, your amount of GABA, epinephrine, your dopamine, your serotonins, the neurotransmitter that decrease pain, you're not making as much. So these are all, you know, quantifiable, thank God, quantifiable. I think because this has now happened in the past 5 to 10 years, and it's going to be filtering down more into the medical community. And the research is being done as we speak, you know, really great controlled, randomized controlled studies, et cetera. I want to go to the general public. That's why I wrote this ebook, and my interest is to really make sure that the physicians who are working with pain know that this is not instead of their medicine. I think medicine is awesome. And surgery, if needed, is needed. There's nothing wrong with that. It needs to be. What's missing is that the patient's involvement in their own healing and the physician or health practitioners' belief that this is part of the process of healing. Let's do this together, literally. You work on your stress levels and make sure you get enough sleep and your nutritional component. We'll work with that, and I'll also then guide you on medicines or therapies, et cetera, as needed.
Right. So it becomes a supplement to what they're already doing. And is this something that do you see, and you work with physicians who are kind of on board with this? And
it's very, it's slowly growing.
Okay.
It's like almost, I feel like I'm in the same place I was with the pelvic work 20 years ago. Right? It should not take 20 years.
Right.
I really would like it to be like next year. It's a whole different. And I think the opioid crisis is really pushing people. The public are in arms. What can we do? My son, my friend, I know people who have been addicted because they had pain. They were given too many medications, and who knew? Even the physicians did not know how detrimental this was. So there's no blame on the physicians. But now people want another answer. Or a secondary answer they can do while they're getting their treatments by the physicians.
That's an excellent point. We're speaking with Evelyn Hecht, a chronic pain specialist who now has an ebook called Relief Solutions for Chronic Pain, and she's offering a 30% discount for the ebook for a full month, which is fantastic. You can get that at emhphysicaltherapy.com. And so, where do you see this going? So what's the future? Is this, does this involve sort of policy reform? Does this involve, you said you want to get it out to the masses. An ebook is one way, but getting it in the having sort of the legislature behind you is really, really powerful. Do you see this going in that direction?
Yes. What we need to do is, and I think the researchers interested in chronic pain are doing more research proving the efficacy of self-help techniques. along with medical care to improve their patients' pain. There are books being written as we speak. I would personally like to develop an app. I would love to work with health insurance companies, so each time a physician writes a prescription for chronic pain, after 3 months, that the patient is given a similar retrain in pain or rewire your brain or relieve solution to chronic pain program. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So this follows in. So the proof has to be done, and it is being worked on. There's some great work by Peter O'Sullivan in Australia. The people up in Canada, the researchers in Canada are all about self-help. They're doing a lot of great work. So the research is happening now. So I do think it's not going to take 20 years before it filters into the physician's mindset.
Excellent. Okay, well, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the data that you're collecting. I'm interested to hear about that and see what kind of research you're doing and it's at Queen's College, correct?
It's Queen's University in Canada.
Queen's University. Great. So we're speaking with Evelyn Hecht, chronic pain specialist, and we've been talking chronic pain, and we've been enlightened, and we have one more segment to go, so we're going to take a break for a moment, and we'll be right back.
Tired of traveling or waiting to see a health professional? Now you don't have to. Video chat with an expert anytime, anywhere, and get your health questions answered. Visit wellnessroundtable.com and speak to experts from all over the country in the areas of health, wellness, and fitness. Wellnessroundtable.com offers an on-demand system that allows you to connect to an expert immediately. No scheduling, no appointments necessary. Wellnessroundtable.com. Visit our website and take advantage of our free February promotion, wellnessroundtable.com, where you get your questions answered.
Do your feet hurt? Alleviate some of your foot pain with a pair of Aetrex orthotics. Aetrex orthotics are engineered to provide optimal support and cushioning to help make even your most uncomfortable shoes feel great. Millions of pairs have been sold to those in need of relief from foot pain. Aetrex offers a wide selection of orthotics designed for all arch types and footwear styles. Visit Aetrex.com, AETREX.com, and get yours today.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Why do I bother? Because what I want you to understand is you can do something about your situation, where you are, what you can do, how you can isolate and insulate yourself from all of this political and financial garbage that goes on out there.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Everything you need to know about finance and real estate. For more information, mypassiveincomesystem.com. mypassiveincomesystem.com.
Did you know ACBigMedia.com was named the website every Arizonan should know? For more than 30 years, AC Big Media has brought readers the state's most compelling business and lifestyle news through newsletters and award-winning publications such as Arizona Business and Ranking Arizona Magazine. Stay informed with all your business, real estate, travel, and lifestyle news at ACBigMedia.com. See why BuzzFeed named ACBigMedia.com one of the top websites in Arizona. Visit ACBigMedia.com today.
We've been going strong since 1923, and this year, Coulter Cadillac is entering its 95th year as Arizona's oldest Cadillac dealer. Hi, I'm Paul Glanz, General Manager for Coulter Cadillac. What other dealer can claim almost 100 years of service? No one. Remember, it's what happens after the sale that keeps our customers coming back, and that's exceptional customer service. See our exciting lineup of 2018 Cadillacs at Coulter on Camelback and 12th Street or online at CoulterCadillacPhoenix.com.
Aetrex is one of the fastest growing companies in the footwear industry and is widely recognized as a global leader in comfort and wellness footwear products. The Aetrex mission is to create the healthiest shoe on the market today with fashion, function, and quality at the forefront. Aetrex designs and manufactures most types of footwear for both men and women. All styles are crafted with care to meet the highest standards in design, incorporate cutting-edge technologies, and offer unmatched customization and adjustability. To learn how Aetrex can help you with your feet, go to AETREX.com. That's Aetrex.com.
Back with the Wellness Roundtable radio show. Give us a call at 602-277-5369 or toll free 1-866-536-1100. And we're talking chronic pain with chronic pain specialist Evelyn Hecht. So, Evelyn, you've done some of your own data collection, and I'd really like to hear what you're doing, especially so you're working with women at Queen's University in Canada. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so these are women that have had chronic pelvic pain for some of them as long as 40 years. And so what we're doing is we're collecting data about a few things, obviously what their levels of pain are, what they can or cannot do, what are their beliefs about pain, what are their fears, and other data just to get some information. Mm-hmm. And then I'm actually currently involved in it now. We have not collected data, so we're actually doing it as we speak. Okay. So what I do is I hold video through Zoom.com of whatever 15 or 20 different women every week for 8 weeks, and each week we share information, and I talk about educate them about what pain is. What beliefs may be holding people back from being able to achieve pain relief? How can one change the brain? I've talked about the prefrontal cortex atrophying. Sure. Well, the coolest stuff about pain is that all this and about the brain, that all these things that seem to be, unreversible are reversible. So as a person heals from pain, their prefrontal cortex starts to grow back. The alarm system in the midbrain, the amygdala, again being on high alert, becomes to lower. Mm-hmm. The ability for the brain to send more opioids, self-made marijuana-type substances that are 30 or 40 times as strong as anything a prescription can be given, is made naturally within the brain. That starts to be produced and sent down to the body. So there is an improved ability. But how do you do that? So what we're doing is we're teaching people about pain, number one. The second thing is we're teaching how to down-regulate that hypersensitive nervous system and the overactive brain. Number one, teaching them diaphragmatic breathing.
Yep, sure.
Teaching them how do you breathe? Why do you want to increase the ability for your diaphragm to move each time you breathe? We breathe 17 times a minute. Mm-hmm. Each time you breathe in a slow, quiet way, you're also stimulating a quieting, calming nervous system called the parasympathetic nervous system. So we teach them diaphragmatic breathing exercises. Sure. We teach them mindfulness and meditation. Sure. And it doesn't have to be 50 hours. We're not Buddhists here. We're talking like maybe 20 minutes every day. We also talk about how to do a visualization exercise. What would you like to achieve? Find that one woman said, I want to run. I haven't run in 15 years. I love running. So she's like, but I heard I can't because it's going to be too much pounding and I'm going to have problems. And I asked, well, you're able to walk comfortably for at least an hour. Why don't you do a 20-second little jog in between, sure. 2 or 3 times and see how your body feels? Sure. Really?
Like baby
Possible?
steps.
Right, take little baby steps. Right. And we also go into the importance of sleep. How do we improve our ability to sleep better without feeling too guilty? And then we talk a lot about self-criticism, improving our kindness to ourselves, improving self-love, giving love to ourselves. If you're giving love and kindness to yourself, there's no way you're giving criticism. And if you peek into anybody's brains, our brains are wired to protect us, and our brains are to be always on edge. So we need to get hold of those thoughts and not believe them to be true 100%. And tell them, I'm not going to go into that thought process. I'm going to change that thought, and I'm going to put in another thought, meaning something I've done that I loved, or something that gave me joy, or petting my cat, and she was so cute how she jumped around with that. So I'm going to put that thought in place of. So we actually teach them concrete steps that they can do, and we also talk about exercise. Why does, as I mentioned before, why does exercise so key? One of the key things to retrain your brain is to exercise. And exercise in nature if possible, be surrounded by the abundance of grass or sand or trees, or air. So being connected with nature as well. So classic techniques that we're teaching them, and basically the research will show, we hope, that after teaching this information and then we have them do these techniques on a regular basis every day for 3 months, 2 to 3 months, and then we measure the results after that.
That's great. So the outcomes are subjective. Are you doing anything? Are you doing any kind of MRIs to take a look at brain function or anything like that, or? That
would be super. That's probably the next step. So this is the first
right. It can get kind of cumbersome and expensive. And how many? So 20 women, right, in the study?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the other thing, is there any kind of control group who may be getting like literature but not going through the Zoom sessions, or are they all going through that?
That will be the next.
That's the next step. Okay.
That's next step. We start with the first step, and then that would be. I mean, the best would be to have 1,000, people in each group, and let's see, A plus B. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
And so, I'm looking at the ebook, and Scott, when you look at this book, it's like everything in here is all about what we talk about almost on every show, which is, proper nutrition, hydrate, get enough sleep, exercise, all of it's kind of the same. And you wonder, you think pain is kind of like a different animal, but I guess it's not. The new science is showing that it really isn't.
Well, Dave, there are basics. I think what everyone's saying, there are like the basics, keys to life, and those have to kind of be aligned. You have to be aware of those, and you have to be alive to those. And if you're not, you're not going to be putting it together properly, and things can, so to say, get scattered, disorganized. And that disorganization, I could see how it can manifest.
For sure.
And what I've learned about pain is the longer somebody has it, there are so many things they have to say no to.
Right.
No, I can't ride a car. No, I can't go exercise. No, I can't have relations with my partner. And it's because
they really limit their life. They really limit their life.
We need to shift it.
Well, the other thing, Evelyn, too, that comes to mind is that the longer you sort of suffer from chronic pain, the harder it is to dig yourself out of it. Because it becomes this habitual kind of thing that this is the way I feel. This just happens to be my lot. Like this is my, this is the hand I'm dealt. Right.
Yeah, it's like an acceptance. Yeah.
Right. So
So this is what's called a learned pattern.
Right. Right.
They've learned to do this, and listen. There is no fault on there of learn. How are they learning this? How are they raised as kids? What do the families say about pain? I had a young woman come into my practice yesterday. She says, I don't have back pain now, but I'm bound to get it because everybody in my family has back pain.
Right.
So I spent 10 minutes talking to her about pain science. And no, there's no reason why you should get back pain.
Sure.
But that, people are raised in families where everybody's expected to get it, so therefore they get it. Did you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and also.
That's a good point.
Right? And also, how was your childhood? Was it loved? Was it filled with safety? Or was it ignored and abandoned? A lot of people have childhood traumas. Doesn't mean they're stuck with that way for the rest of their life. They can learn to be their own protector and give their inner child, their inner self safety. And these are the techniques that they can do, the visualizations, the positive affirmation, the breathing. They can train their brain to work differently. This is what's the coolest thing about science, about the healing pain, is that a person can learn techniques that can be more positive, and the brain will start to use those patterns instead of the old pattern of pain. I can't get out of it.
Yeah. And what's the one sort of initial thing that you tell your patients to use? So somebody comes into your office, they're suffering from chronic pain for 15 years. What's the one thing you start with always?
Breathing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So diaphragmatic breathing. Because it promotes self-awareness too, and it's a type of meditation. And like Scott said, you become less sort of mentally disorganized. And when you become less mentally disorganized, you're able to accept new ideas and make those changes.
And when one diaphragmatically breathes, just even for 3 or 4 minutes, typically people in pain are using the upper called a
Yes.
secondary or accessory breathing muscles, which is their neck and chest, and they're high breathers.
Yep.
And so high breathers gets you in that I'm going to fight, run. The sympathetic nervous system's like, I'm go, fight, flight.
Yep.
And so when you do the diaphragmatic breathing, it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system to be more. And you can't have two working at the same time.
Absolutely.
So this is what it does.
Absolutely.
Immediate
It slows everything down. It also allows for greater oxygenation. So, Evelyn, I want to thank you so much for your time on the show. You're welcome to come back anytime. We've been speaking with Evelyn Hecht, who is a chronic pain specialist. Please get her ebook.
Thank you
it's
so
called
much, Evelyn.
Relieve Solutions for Chronic Pain, and it's at emhphysicaltherapy.com. She's offering a 30% discount for the month. Evelyn, I can't thank you enough. This has really been enlightening.
Awesome, and keep up the good work, guys. I love what you guys are doing at wellnessroundtable.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, join us next week on the Wellness Roundtable radio show. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
This is it. Make no mistake where you are.
You've been listening to the Wellness Roundtable radio show right here on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Tune in next week for more from the experts on the Wellness Roundtable radio show.
Atrix is one of the fastest growing companies in the footwear industry and is widely recognized as a global leader in comfort and wellness footwear products. The Atrix mission is to create the healthiest shoe on the market today with fashion, function, and quality at the forefront. Atrix designs and manufactures most types of footwear for both men and women. All styles are crafted with care to meet the highest standards in design, incorporate cutting-edge technologies, and offer unmatched customization and adjustability. To learn how Atrix can help you with your feet, go to AETREX.com. That's Atrix.com.
The Food and Drug Administration's Safety Innovation Act makes it possible for you to receive information about your prescription drugs in multiple formats to educate you, the patient, on what you need to know before you take your medicine. This could make understanding your doctor's instructions much easier if you happen to be blind, have a learning disability, or other impairment. For more information, please talk to your pharmacist to find out what formats are available in your area.
You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX, Cave Creek, Phoenix, a division of Premier Radio Stations, the home of the Savage Nation. It's 4 o'clock.